So just waiting a minute or two while I set up the preferences here, getting familiar with it. Um, Nice to see people coming in. Welcome, welcome. So just a moment. I'm just making sure I have everything set up correctly as we're waiting. This is my very first Zoom meeting, so well, one that I've led. Of course, I've been on a bunch of them. Let me make sure. Okay. Yay! So good to see you all. All right, while we wait to start, so I'm just gonna light a little incense here and we'll start in a few minutes. And for anyone who wants to set it up, make sure that in your chat you have it selected to be to everyone rather than just to a specific person. So that when you write in the chat, and if you want to, as you're coming in, if you want to write in the chat, you can say your name and maybe what plant or flower or tree or anything that you're loving right now. Let's just connect to nature a little bit to start. All right. So I set up a sun altar for us. Yay, sunflower, Gemma. That's perfect. Yeah, we're going to connect with the sun energy today. It is Sunday, which is connected to the sun. So it's a perfect day for that. And it felt like such a good healing energy that's really been calling to you. Laura says she's been connecting with lavender. Oh yeah, I have this blend, essential oil blend that's called Violet Chill, and it has like lavender in it. It's the most amazing smell, and especially right now, it's just instantly transporting. Ingrid in the UK, hello, welcome. Yeah, so people who are coming in, if you want to, in the chat, just make sure that you have selected to everyone, and just sharing if you're connecting to any flowers or plants right now, just kind of, I figured we could almost create a little garden in the beginning here just by sharing the plants. And actually dandelions are connected to the sun, and so isn't sunflowers. So those are two beautiful ones. Connecting with the trees, yes. Yeah, I have there's from the window in my studio, there's a sycamore tree, and I love watching it move through the seasons because the seasons are more they're a little bit, they don't happen as dramatically here, but that one tree goes through the full seasons. So I love to watch it. Bluebells, oh, that's so pretty. Roses from the yard bush. Yeah, we have some roses that they're really multicolored, and I've been really craving color lately, especially since being a lot of the times inside. So just having those like splashes of color. I'm wearing a lot of colorful things today, as you can see. Lilies, love being in the veggie garden. Yes, actually green, like green leafy plants and green vegetables, like fresh vegetables are also connected to sun energy, because you can imagine the leaves receiving the sun as their nourishment and food, and they're green from the chlorophyll, so anything lush and green is also connected with sun. Lilies, beautiful, beautiful. So Welcome to everyone who's here. All right, so I think we're gonna get started. If you want to, if anyone hasn't shared a plant or tree or flower that they're connecting with right now and they wanna share in the chat and create a collective garden of all of the plants that we're connecting to, just bringing in some nature right now, feel free. And I just wanted, before we get started and really go into, we're going to do a ritual today, we're going to do a guided meditation um, that will sort of connect us to our intuition, and there'll be some, help us tune into some messages. And then we'll have a Q&A and we can share a bit as well. So, and I love seeing some of your faces, some feeling the connection. Don't feel like you have to put your video on. It's fine if you don't want to, but it's nice when you do. Sometimes I like to hide too when I'm on calls, and I'll just be like the black screen. But oak trees and willow trees, marigolds. Oh, marigolds remind me of my childhood because we had a lot of them growing around our house and our garden. And I used to love when I was a kid to, when you deadhead the marigolds and then there's all the seeds in them, and then I would let the seeds go for like the next year. So yeah, those always, and they have such a distinct smell, like the marigold. And marigold is actually also connected to sun energy. All right, so before we get started, I also wanted to let people know, you might have seen it, but I wanted to just reiterate that there is a sale going on in my shop right now for 20% off on a whole bunch of stuff, including spirit cat decks, gift sets, moon ritual sets, ritual bells, and it'll probably be going on for another like week or so. I'm still deciding, but I just put that in the chat if you want it later. You can copy and paste it. Or you could just go to my website. But I just wanted to make sure everyone knew. And okay, so we're gonna get started. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you've been joining this vision seeker journey with me. It's always, fireflies and fairies. That feels a little like some sunshine, it reminds me of summer, right? You get the like fireflies going around and fairies peeking out. So yeah, so it's just been great having you all go along this journey together as we turn inward, but know that we have the support of this community as well. It's just extra special to hold that container. And I think it helps us to commit and keep moving through the process with ourselves. So that's really beautiful. And I think it magnifies some of the synchronicities. I saw people's posts on Instagram that there are lots of really amazing synchronicities that people were experiencing. So that's been fun for me to see, and to see the cards that will repeat in special ways, or something from a card appearing in the world around you, little winks happening, and I just feel like that's the collective energy even amplifies that, because we're all participating in this magical reality, and then that amplifies it and makes it even more possible. So pretty good. So we're going to be doing today a little ritual for the sun, and this is for my Cosmic Allies deck. This is the sun card. You can see the back too, and that's the glyph for the sun. And the sun energy, it's Sunday, so this is the day associated with the sun. And the sun energy it's like vitality and life force, invigoration. It's just like if you imagine that you're a plant growing super healthy and strong and just, radiating out in full bloom, and the sun is nourishing you and feeding you, and you're very healthy and alive. That is the energy of the sun. And it also carries an energy of self-expression, knowing yourself, self-knowledge, and individuality. So literally shining your own unique light, while being connected to the source energy, this greater, more expanded energy, but that is also within us. And then we shine it out in our own unique way, our own color spectrum, if you will, on that light. So it's just a really beautiful healing energy. You can kind of feel that a little bit from this sun talisman. And tune into that energy. So to start out, I just want us all to imagine that above our head is a sun. a big golden glowing orb of sunlight. And then just feel that beautiful golden light pouring down through the crown of the head and filling your entire body up, slowly filling it up with golden light, knowing that this golden sun energy is coming from an infinite source. Feeling move all the way down into the feet, all the way out into the hands, the palms of the hands, moving through the heart and the base of the pelvis and the root. Just filling up with that golden light. And this is life force coming into you. It's a healing, nourishing golden light, waking up every cell in your body. And just feeling that begin to almost radiate out from around you, moving into the aura around you so that you're shining out with this golden light as it continues to pour infinitely into your body through the crown from this beautiful, loving, warm, golden sun. And then as we're just sort of lingering in this beautiful golden sun energy, I'm going to read an invocation to the sun. That's from my Cosmic Allies deck. And this is to help us really just merge with that energy of the sun. Sun, you are the first breath of light. You are a ray of light that awakens me to who I truly am. You are the flood of warmth that heals my heart. You are the energy pulsing through every cell of my body. You herald the wild celebration of my unique self. You bless and illuminate the particular and wondrous stained glass mandala that is me. You call on me to shine my rainbow light into the world. You are the golden dancer, the lover of life. So just inhaling that in, letting it fill your whole being, and exhale, grounding, connecting deep into the earth, rooting down. And then for those of you who brought a candle, you can, and if you don't have one, you can just imagine lighting a candle, lighting this, imagine the flame. And so we're going to light the candle symbolically as an offering, an extension of that golden light, and as an offering to the sun energy. So just expanding on that golden light, seeing the flame, the fire of the candle. Knowing that this light is a symbol of our own vitality and our health and our ability to shine out as our unique self, to know ourselves. And then also tuning in to this circle of candlelight that we're creating right now, and just seeing that circle filling with more golden light and just letting that expand outward into the world. This healing energy of the sun, allowing it to reach all those who long for this energy, who pray for this energy, sending it to them. And then letting this candle keep burning to hold the sacred energy. And just ring a little bell. And so I know some of you might have brought an offering as well. So I have a mandarin orange, That was a bit hard to procure. So it's very special, very delicious, and that's connected. Also, like citrus fruit are really connected to the sun. Yeah, you have an orange too. So I have an orange, and I also have some calendula and yarrow herbs and some cinnamon. Cinnamon is also great for the sun. But whatever you have, you can just taking it in your hands if you have some incense that you wanted to light or a mist. And if you don't have something physically, what I would do is actually just kind of hold your hands together like this, as if you're sort of offering, and imagine something in that. You can just imagine like an orb of golden light. Or if if you want to get creative, you can imagine something else like a flower or fruit or sweet orange essential oil, sun card, citrine crystal. Yeah, if people want to share some of the things that they have as an offering in the chat, feel free. I love it. Looks like someone added bright yellow orchids to the garden as well, which is so beautiful. We have a really lush garden at Seeming. A dried sunflower, a sunstone, and a small stone lion. Yeah, the lion energy. That's, the strength card in tarot is connected to the sun as well as the sun card, but the strength is also connected to the sun. Mango, sunstone crystal. Those are, yes, that's all really beautiful and in alignment. And the idea with these offerings um, is that it's a way to sort of physically anchor this energy of the sun and give us a reminder, sort of a bridge to connect us with this energy. Manuka honey essential oil, palm trees. I love that. Beautiful. And strawberry. Yum. Yeah, it has like a delicious sensual quality, and it helps us to really bring that energy into our world. And in all of magic, there's this principle as above, so below, as within, so without. So there's this reflection of things that we have in the external world, like this beautiful mandarin orange, and the internal world, which is the energy of the sun, that cosmic energy. So it's earth and cosmos, earth and spirit dancing together. And there's that beautiful reflection so that we can build on that and expand in both directions. So if you want to take our offering, you can just hold it in your hands. And this is an offering to the sun. We honor and respect the power of the sun, the energy of vitality, of self-knowledge, individuality, pure life, radiance, knowing who we truly are and being courageous in sharing that. Thank you to the sun for sharing this energy with us. May we fully embody this energy and bring it into our being. You can just set your offering on your altar. And another thing I'd like to do, if you have a deck of cards with you, I love to pull a card that is what energy will help me to embody the energy of the sun. So whatever of the cosmic allies or 7 planetary energies I'm working with, I'll ask what energy will help me embody this more today. So if you want to shuffle and pick a card for the sun ritual for yourself, and I'm going to pick one for the collective, for all of us. So I picked Bliss for my Spirit Cat deck, and this is all about cultivating things that feel really good to us. It's about really elevating pleasure, elevating that feeling when you do something that feels so good that it just opens us up to almost an ecstatic experience and connects us with all that is and connects us with spirit. It's an invitation to embrace all that is marvelous in your life. Let bliss overcome you as you bask in the limitless love of a million sunrises. So nice synchronicity. The sun even appeared in the description. Yeah, so this I think that this is saying that in order to connect to the sun more, in order to really embody that energy, allowing ourselves to feel good, allowing ourselves space to do those things, it nourishes the health of our body and our spirit, and it gives us a foundation where we feel like we can share and we can shine out more, because we've really, given ourselves that care and that room to be like, you know what, you're allowed to feel good, even if things are, difficult. There's always room for something is feeling good. One of my yoga teachers always says, something is feeling good right now, let it in, let it in, let more of it in. So just looking for those things. What's the things that make you feel good right now? How can you invite more of them into your life? And if anyone wants to share what their card was, feel free to share in the chat, or if you want to jot it down in your journal. Flow. Ooh, nice, nice. Being willing to change, and respond. That's beautiful. Page of Wands. I love the Page of Wands. It's such a beautiful, creative, playful energy that's connected to the earth and then also fire. The bear. I love bears. Oh wow, Resilience Golden. See, that's another one that had the sun in it. That's so cool. I love that the sun, tending the gardens. See, I love tending the garden too, because we created our garden in the beginning. Wheel of Fortune, that's beautiful. That's really about, I like to look at Wheel of Fortune as really about being present and connected to the moment and allowing things to unfold and then responding to them as they do, rather than trying to like make things happen in a specific way, and kind of, it's like stay in your center and allow that flow of change to happen. 4, confidence, courage, emerging victorious. Vulnerability. Oh, that's kind of like has a soft sun energy of just like embracing with golden light and love, and allowing that gentle part of yourself, to be healed. Yes, she does. A big sun glow around her. Yeah, the resilience card. Wonder. I love it. Macrocosm, the 6-point star, judgment card. Beautiful. Yeah, judgment is like an awakening. Actually, a judgment card has a bit of a feeling of like a sunrise, after a long dark night, where, there's this, kind of like revelation or awakening that happens. Orange calcite, that sounds sunshiny too. Beautiful. Yeah. So this is something you can actually do, anytime. If you're working with, if you're working with like a god or goddesses, or if you're working with the planetary energies, any planetary energy that you're working with, or an archetype, you can actually use a deck and just ask what energy will help you connect to that more, and how can you embody that more throughout your day, and it will, give you some. Someone picked the sun from the major arcana. That's amazing. That's beautiful. The sun's like, I'm coming out. I'm coming out to play directly. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna ring the bell. I just want to show you this too. This is, I made a sun altar this morning, so I have a little shine your light, a little reminder for us all, um, on the altar. Okay, so just ringing the bell for the sun. May we fully embody the sun energy throughout our day. No worries for being late. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to lead us in a guided meditation. It's actually going to be connected to this golden light energy. So just take a moment, get comfortable, close your eyes. Take a few deeper breaths, just coming into the body. And just feeling the breath pulsing through the body, changing the shape of the body. And tuning into that golden light that we allowed to pour into our being earlier, just tuning into that, feeling it humming and glowing, warming you, radiating out in all directions. Feeling that golden light expand even further around you. It almost seems like the air is warming slightly from this golden light. Knowing this energy is nourishing you, sustaining you, feeling that hum of life. And then imagining that golden light to expand so far that it's completely filling your inner space as far as your inner eye can see. It's this beautiful golden light, bright and alive. And as you peer with your inner eye at this golden light, you see that it starts to form a beautiful crystal palace with the ceilings vaulted so high, like a cathedral, as high as you can see. It almost seems like it's opening up at the top, and everything is gold and white. You feel the expansion and the sacredness of this space. And little crystal prisms are catching the light, making the whole room dance with little rainbows, flecks of rainbows dancing all around you in this crystal palace. And just notice how you feel in this space. Feeling the warm, sweet air, the slight smell of citrus and cinnamon. Watching the flecks of rainbows dance around you. And you notice in the middle of this space is a beautiful, full length, giant golden mirror with an emblem of the sun at the top and beautiful golden filigree all around. The mirror feels magical, like a portal. And you walk towards the mirror. And when you look into the mirror, you see your most magical self, your higher self, your soul self, the truest and most expanded, most powerful version of you. The part of you that knows that they are divine, that they are the dreamer of the dream, the awakened you. Just seeing a beautiful opal light moving through your most magical self, coursing through every part of their body, in their eyes, dancing around them. And notice that you can feel this opal light in your body as well. Iridescent, powerful magic, the energy of your truest self. Feeling that opal light glowing in the palms of your hands and seeing it glow and swirl in the palms of the most magical version of you in the mirror, feeling that reflection, knowing that is who you truly are. Taking a deep breath, really bringing that knowledge into your body. And exhale and softening into it. And then noticing that the golden frame around the mirror begins to dissolve into light. And the mirror itself becomes an open door. And your most magical self walks through, and you merge together into one, feeling that opalite energy, that powerful magic of who you truly are, amplify. Just take a moment to revel in that joy of being who you truly are. In this beautiful crystal palace, flecked through with rainbows dancing. And if you feel like moving through that space in your mind in any way, please do. Just letting that joy flood through you, that remembrance of who you truly are. Knowing that you have the power to bring your dreams into reality, to weave them into your reality. That you are the dreamer of your dream. And just tuning into that playful energy of letting spirit, your spirit, dance and play in the world of form, in the realm of earth, in this life, right here, right now. And now, from this perspective of truly being your most magical self, your most expanded self, just bring into mind a vision that you would like to bring into the world. It can be the vision you are working on in Vision Seeker, or it can be something else that you long for, that you have a desire for. Just hold it lightly in this golden place. with love and joy, knowing that you can dream this dream into being. And just opening now to receive any messages about what the next step is for you in bringing this vision to life. Don't judge what comes through, even if it is not clear. It doesn't have to be a clear step. Just see what comes through. It could be images or words. It could be a feeling, a sensation. Let it all be right. All be okay. Just opening your heart and your crown to receive. And then bringing the hands together at the heart. Taking a deep inhale. Exhaling it out. And just thanking your most magical self. And thanking the golden crystal palace. Giving thanks for every healing and message that came through, for your spirit guides and teachers who helped you, and for the energy of the sun. And when you're ready, coming back into the body and opening your eyes when you're ready. You might want to let some movement happen a little bit if you want to stretch or move. Hmm. Hmm. Welcome back from your Golden Palace adventure. Hmm. If anyone wants to share anything, feel free to share something in the chat, or you can just take a moment if you want to jot anything down. Feel free to do that. I know it felt really good to kind of get into that beautiful golden energy for me. It's like just so heart opening and warm. Hmm. So thank you so much for joining me on that adventure there. That was really sweet. So I wanted to do actually, you know what? I'm going to ring a bell because I feel like that's a moment to ring the bell to kind of close that journeying and just bring us back. Call our most magical selves down into our body with the sound of the bell. Get really grounded. Bring your feet into the earth. Grow down some roots to the center of the earth. And we went far out there. I felt it was just really expansive. So let's contain that energy and bring it down into the earth, into the body. I actually love using the bell, the ritual bells, to kind of make the intention that I'm calling my most magical self into my body so I can be fully present, fully awake here on earth, right here, right now. Oh. Oh, so Nikki said she saw herself become a spirit guide, the white wolf. Ooh, I love that. That's magical. Yes, it did feel like a really safe space. Hmm. I love those. I love traveling. Traveling into the inner realm with meditation and visualization and just kind of seeing where it wants to take us, where it wants to take us. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Ooh, the boar accompanied me. I love that when you have animal animal guides along the way too. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, so I wanted to do a little question and answer. A few people wrote some questions in. Oh, wolf and an eagle. Oh, wait. Playful energy and friends. A kitten jumped into my lap and brought me to earth. What? Eva, that's amazing. Where was my kitten? I love that. Oh, you heard music. Yeah, I think that I don't know where it was coming from, but it's probably special for you. That's beautiful, and especially since you play music. Aw, giving your cat loving attention. Yeah, cats love to be in the energy of these kind of journeying experiences. They love to, whenever I have circles at my house, like my kitty, who usually hides when there's visitors, will come out and just like move around to every single person. So we're having the circle as we're meditating, just like going through. It's really sweet. Um, so I'm going to move into the Q&A. So I'm going to start with there was one question that actually quite a few people asked. And so I want to do that one first, and then I'll also open it up to questions that people have here. And I do have a few that uh, more as well. If you guys don't have questions, that's fine too. Okay, so a lot of people were asking what comes next, right? And I know we're all at different places in Vision Seeker. Some of you might have already finished the 13 days. Some of you might have been in the middle. So if you're in the middle, obviously keep going. But when you do come to the end, and it's, if it takes you longer, that's fine. Sometimes, if you didn't do it every single day, sometimes I'll do a few things on one day. Sometimes I'll spread it out. The days are like a loose suggestion. So feel free to, do it in your own way or whatever works for you. But what do we do after? Okay, so you'll see that there's usually, we focus on one vision about 2/3 through the way through the Vision Seeker quest. You end up kind of narrowing it down and focusing on a specific vision. And I would say that there's a few ways you can do this, and you always want to check in with your intuition and really follow that above all else. But for me, usually I don't want to immediately move on and go back to the other visions and do the same thing from that 2/3 through, where you had like two other life areas. You can do that if you feel like it and just kind of move through the last few days again with each of the other two of the three. So you can do that if you feel inspired or if that feels like it's calling you. But usually I'll stay with the one vision that I was working on for a little bit longer. And it might be a good idea to actually, if you have like a journal that you were writing in, to kind of go through and read over at the end, like read over what you journaled, and take notes if there's anything that feels like a next step for you or feels like a really important message for you. And I would write those down on a separate page, just a few things that feel like, okay, this is a really, big learning or inspiration or something that I'm, working on again and again. And I really want to remember this, because our mind has this tendency to when magical insights come through, it's like our mind wants to reset and just like forget about them. So actually writing them in your journal and reiterating them. And I find that if you go through and then write just a few, no more than a page with like a couple of things, it will give you a place to focus. And from there, you can, if there's like an action that you want to take, you can do that, follow your intuition with that. You can also do like single card pulls each day. What will help me work with this vision today? What will help me bring this into the world more today? And just pull one card for sort of guidance on that day. Another thing you can do is, so there was spreads that were like decisions, seeing opportunities, obstacles, all of these things. And as we're moving towards manifesting a vision, you might hit any one of those types of crossroads where you're looking to see more opportunities, or you need to make a decision. And you can go back to those spreads in that moment whenever you need them. Um, and use your cards as well to kind of continue down the winding journey, the spiral journey towards creation of the vision. So that's another idea of a way to interact with it. Like you can take spreads from the course at any moment, and just use them when you need them, not in order. And so I like to usually focus on one for a little bit longer until I really start feeling like it's sort of planted in my life, and um, like I'm starting to see some of those seeds just starting to sprout a little sweet, like sweet reminders that it's at play. And there's divine timing, so we can get impatient sometimes if it's not already happening. So we want to hold it kind of loosely and lightly. And if you're thinking about your vision and you're getting frustrated, like it's not happening yet, why isn't this happening? Like I put all this energy into it and still nothing. That's definitely it's a that frustrating energy. The best thing that you can do with that is actually just let that be there, but like redirect to something that does make you feel good. Go back to that bliss card, something that makes you feel good, whether that's connecting with the plants in your garden, or picking a card, or drinking something really tasty, like sipping on some tea or coffee, or amazing lemon water with honey, or whatever it is, like something that makes you feel good, nice shower or bath, and to help you hold it lightly, because our visions don't always manifest in exactly the way that we originally perceive them. Sometimes they're there to kind of be this like guiding light, this desire, this beautiful free desire that is actually taking us on our sacred path. And so the sacred path is part of it. And the way that it unfolds, there's a magic in the way that it unfolds. So enjoying that journey, it's like the anticipation and the surprises. Sometimes something will happen in a completely unexpected way, and it might not be our exact vision, but it's something that we actually couldn't even envision before. And it's closer to our heart, it's closer to our soul. So it's actually an amazing gift. But it can be, there's a certain element of just trusting that comes into play. So all of that is part of how you can continue your journey after the 13 days. And you always will have this course. So if at any other time, like if you're, months down the road, a few months down the road, you can always go through it again. And I'll probably run it again as well, collectively. And I know I've run it a couple of times over the years, and people will join again. And I've gone through it myself a couple times. So it is there, something that you can go back to, especially if you're feeling kind of like stagnant, or you need like a refresh, you need to waken up the inner fire and clear your vision and connect to your intuition. It can be a really great thing to come back to. So that is that. If anyone has any questions either about that or anything else, you can put them into the chat. The other question I got was, what's my favorite deck of cards of all time? And as I'm sure, I don't know if you guys know this, but my deck, and not, it's the reason why it's my favorite is because these kitties are like they're my friends. They're really, they're like my friends. And of course I did make the deck to share with everyone, but I also made the deck because it's the deck that I really wanted for me. So it's like literally having a deck that's just completely made for me, which is really special, and is exactly like the friends that emerged out of my inner world. So I really feel so. I pick a spirit cat every single day. I draw a card every morning. And sometimes I'll do spreads just with spirit cats. Actually, this vision seeker, I only use spirit cats, even though I do read tarot, and I have a huge deck collection. I have like, I don't even know, a big giant amount of decks. So I love all decks, but the spirit cats, they're like, they're my friends. They're, yeah. Just how like your actual kitty, you feel like this kinship with and this friendship. That's how I feel with the spirit cats. I feel like they're all my like magical friends. And I want to like see which one wants to come out and play each day and hang out with me. So yeah, that's my favorite deck. Ooh, full moon gathering meditation in fall or summer. That would be great. Yes, I would love to do a full moon. Um, I actually like, I usually, for the full moon, I would normally often, not every month, but I would go out to the desert and do a gathering and we'd dance and um, just connect to the moon energy. But since it's quarantine times, we're not doing that now. So virtual full moon things are definitely would be fun to do. I did use this. So Kelly asked, did you use this? Did you use the cat deck with your vision course? Would it be the best deck to use for the course? I did. I do use it for Vision Seeker. It works really well with it. But I mean, I feel like people have had amazing experiences using all types of decks. So my feeling about it is it's really, you can completely follow your intuition, whichever deck you're drawn to. And I'm also a big fan of doing like multi-deck readings where I pick cards from different decks, or I'll set out a couple decks and then just kind of close my eyes and decide which one I want to pick from. Um, and do it that way. So sometimes that can be fun too, to do like a multi-card spread with like a bunch of different decks. And sometimes I won't even use an actual spread. I'll just like intuitively place them, and then see what message wants. It's like looking in the crystal ball of all these like like see what wants to come through. It's really fun. Oh, yeah, you draw Liz draws a spirit cat every morning too. Yes. Yeah. Someone asked me, um, how did I start a spiritual lifestyle and what age when I was aware of this? That actually started, I mean, I had sort of psychic experiences when I was really young. Um, I was communicating to invisible energies, people, when I was really little. I didn't realize that they like it was just I didn't really realize what was happening. It was just part of my experience, and I was really connected to nature and the fairy energies. And this is all from very very young, like from the age of like 2 or just earliest memories. But and even then when I was a little kid, I made my own spell book and all of this stuff. I was always really drawn. I had crystals. I was very drawn to that world. Um, but I would say that a true spiritual practice really started for me when I was in my very early 20s, around the age of 21. I had a crazy, intense mental health crisis. And in response to that, I needed some sort of anchor to get me through that. And that's really when I went full force into learning. I started with yoga, meditation, and Tai Chi. And then it expanded over the many years after that. They, explored many other things, but that it really came from a place that was like a really dark place where I actually felt extremely disconnected, very separated, and my like psychic abilities were really distorted because I was so like not feeling connected to spirit. And my mind, like I didn't wasn't my mind was not balanced with my body and my spirit, so my mind was like on its own crazy tangent. So yeah, and I mean, I that was a really hard time, but I'm also grateful for it because it really was a catalyst. It was like it was sort of a lifeline that I needed, and it helped me so much. And so, I've used that to really, I leaned into that practice to help me balance, stay connected, and stay much more healthy in terms of my mental health. So, ah, when did the art begin? I also was drawing and painting from as a little kid. Um, I always loved drawing and mixing words together in stories. So I love this like interplay between pictures and stories, and kind of creating a whole world. I studied fine art when I was in college, and I was made big acrylic paintings and oil paintings, and um, ended up doing illustration and surface design later. and then really merged my like art world with my spiritual practices. Um, let them kind of completely come together. That happened after, and the cats were part of that journey too, of like letting those two worlds of like my art and my career merge with my spiritual practice, my channeling, the energy, working with nature spirits, all of that, um, letting those two aspects of my life really merge on. A similar past from Kelly, collected a lot of books, learning and practicing now. I wish I was wiser in learning them earlier. Yes, I mean, in a way, it was like a crisis moment. And so it was like a kind of like I had to do something. And I'm really grateful that my intuition sort of spoke through. I mean, I did go to, psychiatrist as well, but I used, uh, I just had this intuition that I needed to learn meditation or yoga or something in my body to help bring, I needed that merging of the body and like the sensuality coming out of my mind and into like a more somatic experience, um, as a way to ground and having that be my portal to like connecting with spirit. It was really important to have that because it was like all like up here and it was very distorted. So bringing it into the body and helped ground, and clarify my connection. Yeah. Oh, okay. Nikki says it says therapist introduced me to oracle cards and flower essences. I love that. Yeah, I do know some therapists who use my spirit cats in their sessions, and that's really amazing. Prompts for daily use of spirit cats. Yes. So actually, the one that I do all the time is I ask, what energy will help me today? Um, that's my favorite one. Just what energies, because then I look at it as like an energy that's here for me. It's around me. It's available to me. I'm being invited to participate in it. So if I like today, for instance, and sometimes I'll ask about something specific going on. So today, I have this live with you all. And so I asked specifically, what energy will help me, or what energy would it help me to bring to this event? And I've got play, so playful energy. So I like that kind of thing, either just general, like what energy will help me today, what energy is here for me today, what am I being invited into today, and then sometimes I ask what spirit cat wants to be my companion for the day, like what spirit cat wants to join me for my day. So I love all of those, that style of prompt, and sometimes I won't even ask anything. I'll just be like, what spirit cat is for today, what's my spirit cat for today, and just pick a card and see which one comes out. So yeah, it can be really quick. I sometimes I'll actually leave my deck right by my bed. And so instead of getting like lost in like, you know, a weird thought spiral in the morning, I'll pick a cat like right from the bed and then just like read the back and take a moment and look at it and like connect with the energy and set a little intention for the day from there. Play is your card for the course. Love it. Love it. Yes. So yeah, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask. Another question that someone asked were other spiritual therapies that I am trained in. So I actually used to be a yoga teacher many years ago, and I haven't uh, taught a lot. I haven't been a teacher, but I do intuitive channeling, and it's something that I've done for many years, probably about, I don't know how long it's been now. It might be like 18 years. Um, I'm 42, by the way, in case you're like 18 years. When was that? So yeah, because it all started right when I was in my early, like 21, was when I really embarked on that path. So now it's been like another 21 years since I started. Um, Yay, 42. Yeah. I learned to work with flower essences. I used to work at a shop and channel for people and do choose flower essence remedies. and I worked with nature spirits. I studied the work of Michelle Small-Wright, if you've ever heard of her. So she works with a combination of nature spirits and then your spirit guides and teachers, your higher self, and Pan, to kind of create this balanced, to help you create in nature, create in form. It's like co-creation with spirit. So I studied that and worked with that for many years. I love Qigong. That's super nourishing for me. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I really got a lot out of starting with her work. Michelle Small-Wright, she has a Paralandra garden. She makes flower essences. She really has a beautiful way of working with nature and nature spirits. My first deck was actually a sort of it was a takeoff of a tarot deck that I got when I was 15, and I loved it. And it was like based off of the major arcana, and then more cards were added, and it had like a Jungian archetype perspective. And my mom gave it to me as a gift, and I immediately was in love with it and started giving readings to all of my friends, like usually outside, like sitting outside somewhere with a blanket. I loved reading cards. So I've loved cards for a really long time. I did not know that I'd be making oracle decks, but of course, once that happened, it made perfect sense, because I love like pictures and words and bringing them together. I love channeling, painting. I love working with cards. I love picking cards. I don't know why I didn't think about it, because I didn't know that I was making the Spirit Cat deck when I was making it. So I don't know why I didn't think about it ahead of time. That's what you should do, until it was like, oh, here's all these kitties and they all have healing messages. I think this is actually an oracle deck. Aha. Someone asked if I've ever created comics or graphic novels. I have not. I have not created comics or graphic novels. But yeah, that is another way. I don't think I will, I probably won't, but you never know. Maybe in my own special way, maybe I will, because I do love stories interwoven with imagery. So we'll see. Maybe I never say never. Whenever I say never, then it happens. So I have to be careful. Oh yes, the Cosmic Allies deck. Um, will there be a course for it? I think that there will be some sort of course to work with the Cosmic Allies, because the Cosmic Allies are very, there's a lot to them. There's a lot of different ways to work with them. And there is a book that is included in the deck that lays out a lot. Like, it kind of gives you a smorgasbord of ideas, all these different ways that you can work with the energies. But I do think that there would be something amazing about working collectively and kind of leading through, like working with each of the seven and doing some like ritual and meditations. Right now, the Cosmic Allies deck is still on pre-order. And one of the pre-order gifts is a set of 7 guided meditations, and each one will go with each of the 7 planetary energies. So you can actually listen to them on each of the days of the week. And there'll be things similar to like the meditation we did today, where it takes you on a journey but connects you with the energy. Yes. Yeah. So the my Spirit Cat deck, someone asked how I made it. So yeah, it did start just as a painting project where words started coming, where the messages and the names and the kitties, that's why I feel like they're my friends, because they just started popping up, coming through, and they had all the stuff they wanted to tell me and wanted to share. And so that's how it started, was from there. And I didn't realize it was going to be an oracle deck, but people were like, is this going to be an inspiration deck or an oracle deck? And then I felt, you know what, I think after about a year, I was like, I think that is what this is. And I really committed to it. And I ended up launching it in 2016 on Kickstarter. So that's how I started it out. And that's how I self-published it, with Kickstarter help. So yes. Yeah, Kelly is saying she's excited about the rituals that come in the guidebook. Yes, it's so fun. The Cosmic Allies book is so fun. There's so many different ways. There's a section about how to embody all of the different energies, and there's a section on how to, like, different things you can experiment with to embody the energies, and how you can communicate with the energies and use them to activate your intuition in those specific realms. There's actually a tarot spread that goes along with each of the 7 cosmic allies. So there's an oracle or tarot card spread that you can use for each one. So there's lots of stuff. It's really going to be fun. And it has lots of holographic rainbow delight on the box and on the edge of the cards. Yeah, so it's super fun. All right, so if anyone has any more questions, um, let me see if there was anything else. One other question was, they asked, do I ever verge towards Wiccan? I'm not like a part of, a Wiccan circle, but I'm really connected to earth magic and working with nature spirits. And I love connecting with the wheel of the year and the solstices and the equinoxes, and connecting to the flow of nature and the flow of the moon cycles. So there's a lot within that I do really connect with. But I like to take a very like intuitive, eclectic approach to all of the things that I do. So I wouldn't say I don't strictly follow everything. Sometimes I'm like, not, if I'm not drawn to a specific tool, I don't get it until I feel it. Like I have to feel it from within first, and then I'll like reach for it. I don't just like get everything and then kind of learn something and then enact it, because for me, I really like things to emerge from internally, and then that expands outward. For me, that's the best way for me to work. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. So let's see. Do I have any? Okay, so overwhelmed by the big picture spread. Do I have any advice on how to let that sink in? Yes. Okay, so there's those like last 2, the inner circle and the big picture spread. Those are like a lot to absorb. There are a lot of cards. So what I would do is actually let it sit for a bit and then come back to it and look at it again. And see if there's any thing that you want to journal. The other thing that I think is fun to do is see if anything comes through journaling. Is actually, if you're the type of person that ever gets messages in dreams, if that's like an area that you like to work with, you can actually ask for some insight around it in your dreams, and just ask for that before you go to sleep at night, and kind of imagine that spread like filled with a golden light, and just ask for some insight. Sometimes there's really fun things that come through for me in dreams. So you could try that as well. You can also show it to if you have any close friends who know you really well, who you trust, who are also on a magical spiritual path, you can show it to them. A lot of times people who are really close to us but have that same, they're safe people to ask. They're not going to criticize it. Like, they're safe people to ask. A lot of times they know we have blind spots that they can see really easily, because we're sort of hiding, obscuring certain things from ourselves. So sometimes they can help like shed some light on that too. So that's another thing I would. Okay, so Eliza asked, do I work with only decks, or do I work with other things? So I do work with, I've worked with a pendulum for a really long time, probably like almost 20 years. So I love using a pendulum. I also do like muscle testing. When I don't have a pendulum, I'll do muscle testing. And I usually sometimes I'll just connect to my higher self, my most magical self. And sometimes I'll open up an entire coning or channeling with specific guides and teachers and nature energies, and work with my pendulum. Or just sometimes I don't just ask yes or no with my pendulum, but I'll actually be channeling something. And then I'm very tactile. So I like to feel the energy of like, it's like a yes, like the things are coming through, I'm getting yes. And then if I get like confused or it gets like muddled, like I'll get a no, and I'll feel, and then it helps me like redirect, but it's not like necessarily always yes or no questions. I just use it to tune into that energetic flow of the channeling. And I also work with runes. I actually got a set of runes also when I was a little kid as a Christmas present. I was really into magical things. So, and my parents were hippies. So they were like, it's fine. But my mom gave me like a set of runes even before I got the sort of modified tarot deck. I got that even younger. And so I like runes, and I also love working with crystals and flower essences. Um, I've never done like tea leaf or like bones or that kind of or crystal ball. I've never worked with those yet, but it sounds interesting. So yeah, I just kind of follow my intuition. So with what I'm drawn to, I don't need to do everything. I just follow the ones that I'm really drawn to. Future creative deck ideas or things coming up future, near or far. Well, okay. I have so many ideas. So future, there's actually another, a, a, a different type of kitty deck coming. It's another oracle deck, and it does have magical kitties, and it has a lot of cards already. So we'll see when it comes out. It's going to have a little, it's either going to be called like witch cats or cosmic cats, because it's going to be even a little bit more for the spiritual practitioner. And whereas the spirit cats is really for everyone, even like the complete beginner. And this one will kind of go into some areas, into some more like mystic areas, and magic areas. So yeah, it's even more out there and psychedelic. Witch cats, cosmic cats, yeah. So that's there. There also, I have, if you saw my Spiritling calendar, possibly at some point there might be an expansion upon that for a Spiritling deck. I have been reading the tarot and working with the tarot a lot and developing my own meanings, because that's really important to me. That the traditional Rider-Waite meanings, they don't all resonate with me. So I've been working with Lindsay Mack of Wild Soul Tarot, and I really like her very trauma friendly, very empowering, very soul centered approach to tarot. And so I've kind of been working with that and then expanding on it with just my own intuition and sort of living the cards and feeling them. So I don't know if at some point that will turn into a tarot deck, but I'm really like, I have to make it my own first before I actually commit to like painting it and all of that. But yeah, I'm probably going to make my own guidebook for myself first, because the traditional guidebook does not a lot of it does not resonate with me the way it's written. It's very like fatalistic and like, this is happening to you, and I don't know, I don't need help being paranoid. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't need any, like, I can be paranoid on my own. I don't need like a spiritual tool to help me be paranoid. So so I don't need something to be like, watch out for people, they might be deceiving you, or everything you love is going to be swept away. I'm like, I could already be paranoid on my own. My mind is able to do that. So like, I kind of like using them more as like medicine, like looking at them as a medicine. And it's not that everything, it's more that they're not happening to you, they're for you. So it's not that some of the more challenging cards, it's not like they're all sugar coated in my mind, but it's looking at it as it's being for you. So even if there's something challenging, like, how can this be for you? How can you work with it? How can you be compassionate with yourself around you? What would inspire you to move through it, rather than just getting like stuck and like, I have no power in this terrible thing that I don't want to happen is going to happen. Yes, co-creators of our life. Yes, calendars. I am going to be doing more calendars. The calendars usually come out in the early, like, September, October time. Usually pre-sales are sometime around then. So that's probably what I'll do again this year, like September time. Yeah, so there's a few things. And I also just made, this is a personal little deck that I made for myself of affirmations. So I don't know if this will turn into something as well, but there's just little, I made it in a ritual, and they're just like little affirmations. And this one says, I'm always perfect no matter what. So these are things I'll pick for myself, like little mini mantras in the morning that kind of help, are very helpful to me. So this was just an intuitive project that I made for myself, like during a ritual. But there is a chance that would at some point flow into some sort of deck too. There's always multiple things, like brewing. I want to do a tarot cloth too. That's like, with the spirit cats, 4 spirit cats for the 4 directions connected to the 4 elements, with like spirit or cosmos in the center, so that you could actually use that on your altar to connect with the 4 directions and the 4 elements. You could even sit in the center of it if you want to, if you're, you know, casting a circle for magic. So yeah, that's something I have in the works too, a smaller project. Yes. All right. I think that was all. Hopefully I didn't miss any of the other questions. I think I got them. Yay. Yeah. So, if anyone has any other questions, or if anyone wants to come on and share anything from their vision seeker journey, or anything from this today, if you want to share anything, you can just unmute yourself. And I think, if I'm doing this correctly, I think that will just bring you on. So if you want to, feel free to do that. You can just introduce yourself. And if not, no pressure. Or if anyone wants to share anything in the chat of any of their experiences or any questions, you can feel free to do that as well. Even if you just want to come on and say hello. Okay, I see Ingrid. So, Ingrid, unmute. Okay, Ingrid.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you. I just wanted to share my journal. It was a crafting journal. I changed it to be a vision seeker journal.
Oh, wow.
So I've got one of the stickers in the corner.
I love it.
And the stickers came with a card, my play card, and that became my card for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's all my journaling, everything so far, and spreads, it's all in here. So it's all.
That is so magical. Yes. Yeah. I love to see that. You know, it really helps me to like print things out and have them in like a physical form. So I love seeing that you made a whole like art journal book. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I got lucky because my dad gave me his old printer just before lockdown, so I've got a printer here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that. So, but yeah, my card bore that came up for the sun. I sat down to do the meditation, and it was like Boar sat next to me. So I have had that before in other meditations. Like my dragon will come and just sit on my lap. So it's just like, oh hello, okay, you're coming too, fine.
Along for the journey.
Yeah. But this is the 3rd time I've done Vision Seeker, and I love it. This time I'm going to continue with it. So thank you for the tips.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I loved seeing that. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have, let's see, Nuclear of Leisure. Let me see how to, Just have to figure out how to unmute. There we go. Okay, unmuted you, Katya. If you want to come on. You just have to unmute yourself too, I think.
But I'm confused.
Oh no, you're there. You're there. I heard your voice. Oh, are you there? I have you unmuted, so you just have to unmute yourself if you want to chat. I heard you though for a second. Are you there? Let's see, maybe unmute. Let's see, am I doing it correctly? It looks like, keep pressing unmute, and for some reason it's just rejecting me. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Okay, I'll try one more time from this section. It does, having issues with Zoom. Okay. Well, thank you anyway. If anyone else wants to come on and say anything, you can. Ah, So if Ingrid, Kelly's asking Ingrid if she would like to share her journal making process. So I don't know if you want to share that. I can try to unmute. Oh,
I just buy, am I there? Right.
yeah, I just unmuted you. Yes.
Well, thank you. I just buy journals cheap in the sales of any kind because I write every day and I'm always running out of paper and I just need journals. And this one has loads of different coloured pages and different just things. So it's perfect for this kind of work.
Yeah.
Because it's got space for cards and space for journaling and space at the front where I can keep a list of all the cards I've got, for example. And I've been collecting stickers for about 30 years now. So I just gathered together a lot of stickers, and I've got a box of stickers and coloured pens and glue and things I've cut out. And it's as simple as that. It's just anything I happen to have around the house because I'm not going anywhere at the moment. So it's just, I didn't buy anything special. I just have a really big craft cupboard of stuff I haven't got rid of since I was a teenager. And it's just, so I just go with my intuition and just, so for my first page for day one, I kind of just put a sticker over the top because it didn't, a cat sticker obviously, because it wasn't relevant. And then just wrote down what came up with the course. So I've got sticker and then the journaling I did, and I just continued doing that. And it's really that simple.
I love it. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing, Ingrid.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. If anyone else wants to come on and say anything, or if you want to share anything in the chat, feel free. Someone asked, how often do you suggest doing Vision Seeker? I really would just follow your intuition. And with that, and just see what you're feeling. I would, I probably wouldn't do it crazy often. Like I would say maybe, 1 to 4 times a year or something, like maybe seasonally. You can do it that way because it's a lot to take in. You don't want to have such a flood of messages that you can't integrate them. It's really easy to forget these things that come through. It's like our rational mind wants to, just like how you don't remember dreams sometimes unless you write them down. And even like synchronicities and magical things that happen, a lot of times we'll forget them quicker because it doesn't fit with our normal perception of reality. So it actually doesn't have as like long of a staying power. It's like outside of that and contradicting what our ego, our ego's more limited perception. So it really takes a concentrated devotion and effort to keep revisiting and remembering these things. So yeah, I would say, not doing it crazy often so that you have time to really integrate some of the insights that came through and make them part of your life. Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually to go back and read through a previous round of Vision Seeker, like read through your journal. And sometimes you'll have whole new insights just from reading through, or remind you of something that you completely forgot that's actually really helpful. And or you'll see the seed of something that ended up turning into something a lot bigger or went in this like surprising direction. So that can be really exciting when you see that as well. But yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I am going to, unless anyone else has anything to say, I'm going to just take a moment to honor and thank everyone here. I'm just really feeling the beauty of us gathering, the beauty of this community coming together and supporting this inner journey that we've taken. I'm going to pick one spirit cat to lead us out into the rest of our day, the rest of our week, collectively, and how we can carry some of this energy of connection and connection to each other and also connection to spirit into the week. I picked relaxation. So yeah, take time to rest, recharge, nourish yourself. Naps are okay. Kitties love a nap here and there. And if not a nap, at least a good lounge, a nice lounge sometime. So you deserve the gentle healing of relaxation. And I think relaxation, that softening energy of relaxing, also really helps us to integrate insights as well. It gives it space to breathe and settle in. So thank you all so much. I'm going to close the sacred circle with the bell. And I'm just wishing all of you a beautiful week. Thank you for joining. Sending lots of love to everyone. And let me see if, no, I don't know how to do that. I was going to unmute everyone and let everyone say goodbye, but I realized I don't know how to do that yet. So it's all good. All right. So much love. Thank you so much. And I hope that you all have a beautiful week. Filled with sunshine and golden light, and we can all just tap into that golden energy, let that pour in and heal us and reinvigorate us and help to remind us to shine our unique spirit out into the world. All right. Thank you so much.